unlikely things to hear at the World Cup.
And here comes the Irish team.
Cold. Sorry, that is... Wow. You're getting buzzed to fuck for the rest of this. Okay. Sorry, Hugh. You'd like to go in there? Yeah,
it's okay.
absolutely.
That's
Hugh.
fine.
Here with the first answer is Hugh.
And here come the Irish team.
Hello, I'm really sorry we didn't get in this year.
And up in the stand, the Uruguayan women with their chant, Uruguay, and I'm a gwirl.
And Portugal have beaten Spain, and Saudi Arabia have beaten a woman for wearing shorts.
Jamie Vardy managed 4 shots in the first half, 3 sambucas and a Skittles vodka.
And that is a great shot from the Russian, but unfortunately the journalist has survived.
So it's Panama's first time at the tournament, but they have been doing FIFA's accounts.
And Sterling has taken a dive. That's it for financial news. Back to the football.
Well, it's official. England are out. And we can go back to identifying people with flags in their windows as racist.
Well, let's have a look at the Swedish bench. £12.99 from IKEA.
Oh, and that is a huge tackle. That has got to make it more difficult to rollerblade.
Brilliant goalkeeper, David De Gea. Midfield maestro, Mesut Ozil. Fast forward...
And he's nipped round the back and banged in an absolute screamer. This really is the best leaked sex tape in the history of football.
Well, we didn't think it was possible, but somehow Gareth Southgate has managed it. England eliminated before the group stage.
Well, at 2-1 down, Iran had to do something, so they brought on their secret weapon, a 14-megaton intercontinental ballistic missile.
If you've just tuned in to England versus Germany, what are you doing, mate? Love Island is on.
Well, it looks like semis for Croatia. I wish they had worn bigger shorts.
That's a shocking miss from Jesus. They are going to absolutely crucify him for that.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
Apologies, the sport you're watching is apparently squash, and not, as I said earlier, tennis in prison.
Oh, I am sorry, you don't need a lip reader to see what he said after that challenge. He said, fuck off.
180! This man is rubbish at golf.
Meow! 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 He's clearly hurt his knee. Italy have had 3 shots in the second half: tetanus, rabies and hepatitis.
And here come the Coxless 4, so the women's tennis doubles can begin.
And as we wait for the final of the butterfly, it's hard to believe that just yesterday all these competitors were still caterpillars.
And there's a new event here at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Yes, get ready for shouting at your own reflection in a shop window.
Wow, unbelievable service. 3 full bars on T-Mobile.
And there's been a nasty clash in the Nigeria-Brazil game. Lime green with yellow.
For those of you who want to watch the equestrian events, get your butler to press the red button now.
Welcome to the Nazi Pro-Am golf tournament. Hitler, as usual, is in the bunker.
Wayne Rooney has managed the full 90. Previously, his eldest was 76.
And the Queen takes the bishop. This is turning out to be quite the royal wedding.
And Suarez is being substituted. He's not injured, he's just full.
What an incredible backhand there from the Qatari president.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
Oh, and he's finished that race in just under 2 hours. A gruelling finish for the 100 metres and a very disappointing performance from Captain Tom.
And congratulations to my mum, who's taking home the gold medal for passive aggression.
And there he is, he's crossed the line. That jockey has just won the Grand National. He must feel 5 feet tall.
And there we have it. We finally know who has won the Ashes. Some said a tombola at a funeral was inappropriate, but it's what she would have wanted.
Well, with 3 sixes like that in a row, you have to ask, is Satan the one-day batsman England have been looking for?
It's 2046. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
And Hamilton has the lead, and look how excited his dog is.
Tonight we have coverage of the England men's team.
Well, that is a wild throw in the javelin. That is huge. Very difficult to tell where that javelin's going. Where is that javelin?
And he's reaching, and he's almost got it. And yes, Harry Potter has the golden snitch. Of course he has, the smug prick.
And that is exactly why they call him a fox in the box. A great finish, followed by shitting and screaming.
Well, that was a very delayed decision on VAR. But yes, Jeff Hurst's goal did cross the line.
Oh, and that's a firm backhand. Although I like to try reasoning with the staff.
What's the name of the guy taking the penalty? Can you find it out for me? Oh, it's gone in! Goal!
Liverpool in their away costumes there, just making their way backstage for the interval.
And what a fascinating end to the snooker. He went red, then blue, and then the ambulance arrived to take him away.
Andy Murray there with a soft lob. Happens to the best of us.
And as the lights go out for the start of this nighttime Singapore Grand Prix, the drivers shout, "Please turn the lights on, we can't see a fucking thing."
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And that's yet another gold medal for Ireland. One thing I grew tired of was the Canadian national anthem.
Well, there's Prince Harry in the crowd. I would recognise those buttocks anywhere.
Well, what an opening ceremony. James Bond, Harry Potter, Mary Poppins, showing the world that the greatest Britons are fictional.
Sweltering conditions here at the ladies' beach volleyball final, but still those four blokes in the front row haven't taken their coats off.
Ta-da!
And that's the starting pistol, and they're running. They finished. To be honest, I usually do the snooker.
Welcome to Greco-Roman wrestling, where a man from Greece and a man from Italy wrestle each other for the €1 coin they found on the floor.
Claire Balding there, but very slowly, and she's still got more than Colin Jackson.
And the long jumper from Sierra Leone there, raking the sand for landmines.
You've got to admit he's pretty fast for a white guy.
Well, let's look at the 400-metre hurdles. Those are very big hurdles.
And the winner is jumping up and down with delight, which will probably see them disqualified from the wheelchair marathon.
Well, it's the treble. It's the three he wanted. Usain Bolt has really enjoyed his night with the Swedish women's handball team.
And next up, it's the dressage, or as it's properly known, river dance for horses.
And now it's time for the clean and jerk, and clean again with an old sock.
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
Embarrassing, humiliating, bringing shame on the sport. Welcome to Wimbledon Today with me, Claire Balding.
And it all comes to this. After years of training and preparation, I'm commentating on the poxy water polo.
Mo Farah has apologised for his association with substances that the British public regard as abhorrent and has said he will never advertise Quorn again.
Welcome back to the golf, where Tiger Woods apparently travels with 2 inflatable sex dolls now in case he gets a hole-in-one.
And he's found a chocolate biscuit down the back of the sofa, but he's not going to celebrate because it's his old club.
And he's resting 2 balls on the cushion now, which is why he won't be allowed back into eye contact.
And he pops the cork and he's spraying everyone with champagne. Welcome to the first Conservative budget since 1996.
Here we are at the Crucible, all burning to death!
Well, that was the speed skating, and now crack cocaine curling.
The American and the Russian are out in front, and here comes the Finn. Yes, they're going to swim a lot faster now. The shark is chasing them.
And so they've brought up a curtain around the horse that fell earlier, but no, we've got good news. He's moved to a farm in the countryside.
Well, here we are at the Rugby League. It's tough, men. It's better than rugby union, and at the same time, ever so slightly more gay.
And this decision's going to a touch judge, and yes, it's sexual harassment.
Well, this is his third attempt with a bar at this height. No, still can't get served.
And here come the 2 Red Bulls, which is what you'll need to keep yourself awake during Formula 1.
I'm joined here by Balding, or Alan Shearer as he likes to be known.
Raikkonen now on super soft. The Viagra simply not working.
And if you want to find out what this function key on the keyboard does, join us after the break on F1.
And after the break, join me, Claire Balding, presenting everything. I present everything now. Everything is mine, everything.
Unlikely to hear at Euro 2016.
Wayne Rooney's come out covered in Formica. I think the managers told them to play as a unit.
Rooney is playing in the pocket. Oh, that's unpleasant.
And England go through on penalties.
And the French mascot is 7-year-old Lucien Dubois from Nice, showing us all how to smoke a cigarette with real panache there.
Oh, that is an absolutely shocking decision by the referee. Black shorts, black shirt. I'm sure the girls will agree with me. Way too matchy-matchy.
Let's not forget that Roy Keane and Martin Skirtle were club mates at Real Sociopath.
Oh, that is an absolute beauty. Swedish, about 25. Well done, Dirty Dave on camera 5.
The England front 3 are trying to get in behind, but the Wags are having none of it.
And the crowd invade the pitch and the French officials have surrendered.
Oh, did that cross the line? Seemed a bit racist to me.
Well, next for us, it's Iceland-Turkey, and when that's defrosted, it's England-Slovakia.
And Russia have gone for a 4-3-3-7-8-10-1-9-16 formation. We're never going to get out of this alley.
Well, let's look at the stats in the first half. I was responsible for 90% of the cliches, and that really is the icing on the cake.
And the Swedes are out. He really should have worn tighter shorts.
So who's up for the World Cup in Russia? Guys?
There goes Ronaldo down the wing, doing what he did a minute ago, and he's slightly slower. This is the replays now. Yeah.
They say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, and I have. I'm just off to get some more pants.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And that's a world record from Usain Bolt, 9.5 in one night.
Let's see what's happening in the velodrome. Yep, cycling.
Oh, you won a gold. Oh, well done. What in? Canoeing? Oh, get a life, mate.
I've just come out of the diving pool. Look at the colour of my legs.
Look at that masterful control of his javelin. He really is the best streaker we've had all year.
Well, this is the pommel horse, and that plaintive neigh is the horse they are pommelling.
Time for the next fight now. He floats like a butterfly, he stings like a bee. He's got a black belt, he's got 5 black belts. OK, he's a wasp.
And if you'd like to enjoy our coverage of the dressage, we recommend MDMA.
And his penis has slapped the top of the bar. That is a straight ban from Wetherspoons.
The allegations of drug use have been strenuously denied by the new Russian Minister for Doping, Keith Vaz.
We were afraid the Chinese were going to use doping, and here she is. What a fantastic athlete. Doping!
Breaking news, Ryan Lochte has tested positive for being a twat.
And Oscar Pistorius has jumped the gun, and for that, he'll only get 6 years.
Well, a nearly perfect execution there, but not quite as perfect as the one he'll receive when he returns to North Korea.
You join me live at the All-Stancing. Fucking state of it.
Things a sport commentator would never say.
8 no balls in a row. You join us for the women's 100-metre final.
Rory McIlroy is on the green. He holds the baby lamb aloft. This is for an eagle.
They think it's all over. It is now. I'm dead.
And the Russian champ beginning her floor routine now. Running, 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 big jump, and a tumble, and a little tumble, and then rolling around, and then a bit of swirling. To be honest with you, I normally do the darts.
Joe Root's up now for England. He's quite cute, isn't he? He could spend a couple of hours at my crease.
And at the end of that match, it's 0-0. But it doesn't matter because both teams are just such lovely people.
Well, there are 3 horses in it. This is the worst sausage I've ever had.
And the Ferrari crosses the line in the worst case of cheating the London Marathon has ever seen.
Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. And yes, they do all sound a lot like bees.
Well, Gary and I are in the commentary position. If you want to know where that is, it's on page 32 between missionary and wheelbarrow.
Shock news as FIFA awards the 2022 World Cup to the Islamic State.
Say what you like about these cyclists, but boy, do they know their drugs.
The referee there taking down Ronaldo's number. Not really the time or the place, but good to see we've kicked homophobia out of football.
And as is traditional, the leader of the Tour de France now awarded with the yellow jersey to remind him what colour his piss is supposed to be.
15:30 in a chat room. It's so difficult to tell.
Incredible delivery from Serena Williams. The baby came out in 7 minutes and she didn't even shit herself.
Oh, that is long, very long. I'll put it away now and get on with the comment.
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
Wimbledon, day 3. Still not seen one fucking womble.
Pass, 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 another pass. Sorry, I'm on Tinder.
Welcome to coverage of the first ever Willy Wonka Olympics officiated by the umpire, the lumpire and the dumpity-dumpire.
Oh, and that's some excellent curling. I have never seen a dog take a shit like that before.
And that was 9.6 seconds. Sorry, darling.
There is Hamilton. Hamilton is driving at 180 miles an hour. This is not the musical I expected.
Welcome to the Tour de France, presented by Francis Della Tour de France.
And now it is just Mo Farah against the clock, which doesn't seem fair. It doesn't even have legs. It is just a clock.
And he's gone down in the box. Fair enough, it is her birthday.
Well, after arriving at the wrong nation, England believe they have now arrived at the correct one. They think it's Moldova. It is now.
And welcome to our 5th day at the Oval today. Don't it go on?
And that's a clean entry, very little splashing and a lovely flick at the end. This really is the most impressive urine sample I've ever witnessed.
Well, you have to hand it to relay runners, don't you?
Oh, the parachute has failed to open at 300 metres, and you can't make mistakes like that at this level.
Oh, this is the campest Grand National I've ever seen. Oh, sorry, it's the dressage.
Has that crossed the line? She's calling HR, so I think it did.
Oh, and he scored! What a weekend Michael Gove is going to have.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
England have won the World Cup.
And that was 11.3 seconds. Sorry, Michael, you will not be getting a second date.
Ronaldo there being booked by the referee for taking his shirt off. He should know the rules by now. You are not allowed to take the referee's shirt off.
Well, in this Grand National, as they come round to the chair for the second time, the music stops. Red rum is eliminated.
And you join us now for the diving. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't very impressive. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, you join us here for the swimming. Right.
Well, I think from here he's going to go for the top right-hand corner, and he does! That is how you stick on a stamp.
Judges there, all very impressed. A textbook reverse tuck. You're watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Is that Maria Sharapova or Mark the Week's Olga Koch?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We've got a very exciting afternoon of sport ahead of us, but first, the golf.
Welcome to the World's Strongest Man competition, where we see Dave from Sunderland attempt to pull a bus. They really will shag just anything.
And now time for the gay horses. I mean, dressage.
And he has rested the ball there perfectly on the cushion. This really is a lovely new saddle they've made for Lance Armstrong.
Well, at the start of the day, I asked if he'd got the bottle. Now he has proved he has got the bottle. That is my bottle. Give me my bottle.
Will it be gold? Will it be silver? Will it be bronze? Who knows what colour the Russians' urine test will be?
Oh, and here they come, running onto the field, completely naked, wearing nothing but shoes. This is an absolute... Sorry? I'm being informed that horses always look like that. This is my first time doing the Grand National.
Things you won't out here at the World Cup?
No one's guaranteed a start in this England team. The only thing that's nailed on is Wayne Rooney's hair.
Oh, that was a horrible two-footed lunge, but it was the only way I could shut Phil Neville up.
And now our cameraman is going to pick out some of the plainer girls in the crowd.
Let's have a look at possession. Yes, 7 Colombians have been arrested for it.
Hang on. It's not very sorry. It's just this one side is doing it all the time. That's really unfair. I'm so sorry, right? You two are you're kind of hogging it a bit. So for the rest of the round, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to... Things you won't hear at the World Cup. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, excuse me.
It's the first time that most people have ever seen Dara's legs, ladies and gentlemen. That's Messi. Oh, Messi. Yes, Wayne Rooney should never have a half-time orange unsupervised.
There's little doubt now that Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the world's all-time greatest twats.
Welcome to Sugarloaf Mountain, the hardest level on Candy Crush.
And that's a very soft tackle, as Pele hasn't taken his tablets yet.
Is he the finished article? That's the question. He did very well against Italy, but Sterling has traditionally performed very badly against the dollar and the yen.
And now we go over live for Nigeria against the Ivory Coast and our commentator, Ron Atkinson.
You join us here in Brazil where it's still fucking well hot.
Hey, who's heard what's going on in Iraq?
There's 6 Brazilians in the wall and 2 in the foundations. That's the mafia for you.
4 years later, Paul the Octopus is back. And what a stew he made.
Andre Pirlo, the only player in world football to be named after the Palestinian Liberation Organisation.
There you go. OK. Unlikely things for a Winter Olympics commentator to say.
Points off the Danish team for exploding.
And he's fallen over. I love it when they do that. That's the best bit.
And now the 4 words that no ice dancer ever wants to hear. Release the polar bear.
Of course, bribery no longer exists in the Olympic movement. Welcome to the Winter Games here in Basingstoke.
The upturned bobsleigh providing a fitting coffin.
Have you ever stared at snow so long it turns to blood?
My goodness, the band must just be fed up with playing the British national anthem.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
And look at that, a hole in one. And that's the last time the Queen will sit in the front row of the javelin again. She's called one.
He's running up to the pole vault. Oh, no, sorry, that's a streaker. That is very impressive.
Oh, and the Newcastle keeper has lost his head there. These new owners do not take defeat lightly.
And the bobsleigh is well underway, with 3 bobs dead and 12 wounded.
Well, I hope this isn't the curse of the commentator, but Iorgil Balabantis, Satan rise, wait and die!
He's gone with the left jab and the right jab. A flurry of jabs. Oh, my God, this vaccine rollout is going brilliant.
And that's the final whistle. What an incredible game of Find All My Whistles. It's a real game, I invented it.
Oh, yes, that is definitely a rebound. He's married her sister.
And we're here at the weigh-in for the women's boxing, with Judith coming in at an appropriate weight and Michelle coming in at... Don't be rude.
Well, which card is the referee going to get out? That is incredible. That is the one I thought of earlier.
And look at him there, taking the knee, in the worst case of cheating the Paralympics has ever seen.
To those who say that lacrosse is inaccessible to people from working-class backgrounds, I would say, guards, seize them!
And they've scored with the last kick of the game, and the manager is coming onto the pitch. We're all excited, mate, but that's a bit graphic, actually.
Well, here in Belgrade, the Serbian in lane 1 has opened up quite a gap on the Briton in lane 2. Hardly surprising, lane 1 is EU passports only.
And of course, Steve, both fighters have tested positive for ketamine, but the governing body has decided to let the fight go ahead because, well, that would be hilarious.
And he's grappling with the tentacles, but can he hold on? This is one crafty arthropod. I've not actually seen Squid Game, but this is what I imagine happened.
Listen up, virgins. This is Robot Wars.
Oh, my God, he's had the gold medal taken off him for, of course, for running by the pool.
Now, this American football position is called the tight end. Now, he can go long, he can go inside his man, he's a great ball handler. Sorry, I've got a boner, I've got to go.
Things you wouldn't hear at the Winter Olympics.
And here are the British ice dance pair, Heather Mills and John Sargent.
And now, over to bobsled. Bob, how's the curling?
And while we wait for them to get set up there, we'll just pan the camera around. There's just a beautiful scenery. Oh, look, there's a herd of moose. Oh, no, that's the Romanian women's ice hockey team.
This is the big hill. Oh, that's long! That's very long! He's going to wish he'd done his flies up.
It's 1 a.m. in the UK. You're watching the women's figure skating. Why not just bite the bullet and turn to Television X for the 10-minute preview?
And Britain comes away with 2 gold, 2 silver and a bronze. Well, that'll teach the Austrians a lesson for leaving their locker open.
And with conditions here reaching a bitter minus 20 degrees centigrade, the British hopeful from Newcastle has put on a second-string vest.
You're watching the women's curling. Men's curling? Women's. You're watching the curling.
No one has more experience on the ice than him. What a wonderful games it's been so far for Pingu.
And the conditions are perfect here, aren't they, John? Yes, they are, Bob. I haven't seen this much white powder since that stag weekend at the hotel in Bangkok.
Oh, and that's what ice hockey is all about. A man having his head repeatedly smashed into a glass wall.
The ski jump will start as soon as the British skier takes his hand off the side and stops crying.
The first subject tonight is things a Wimbledon commentator would never say.
40, 37.
Well, there is Sharapova, and I'm sure, like me, you long to have those long, moist Russian legs wrapped around your face.
Is it just me, or are they just hitting it back and forth?
How wonderful to see an all-British final.
Well, there's a ball boy needs taming.
Advantage Widdicombe.
And as they come to the first, it's Spanish steps over safely, followed by red one.
All this grunting is giving me the horn.
In the women's game, why does the pretty one always lose to the moose?
Goal!
Now, that one must be a man.
Inappropriate thing to say on winning Wimbledon.
Mr. Blair, this is for Iraq.
3 sets, no smell. That's palm olive.
Thanks very much, but I've actually come here to talk to you about Jesus.
That Nandrolone's great stuff, isn't it?
This is fantastic. In some way, it compensates for my lost childhood, my dysfunctional family, and the fact I'm so stressed I haven't had a period for 7 years.
To be honest, I only won because I'm pissed.
I'm delighted to have won and put all the drug rumours behind me, and I'd just like to thank my husband for sticking with me.
It's been everything. It's been amazing. Apart from the crowd, who are a bunch of arseholes, and I wish they'd stop trying to share in what is essentially my triumph.
I just got a blowjob in the dressing room from a womble.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
Oh, they've called in the video referee. Which is better, Alien or Predator?
Oh, yes, and that's a beautiful uppercut. And another one. But hey, the DJ is still not going to change the track for Stephen Gerrard.
Jimmy White holding up the cue there as he collapses at the Telenoid bins.
Welcome to Robot Wars. Cruncher, ready. Stephen Hawkins, ready.
And England have won the Ashes.
It's the women's 100 metres final, and from left to right, it's no, no, yes, maybe, from behind. Definitely not.
The Queen smashes Camilla in the face and Prince Philip hits her with a hammer. This is what I call a Royal Rumble.
Venus Williams has brought something different to the ladies' game. Male genitalia.
Oh, he's great with a dead ball. When I had one, I had to sit down for a week.
And I think that massive widescreen close-up of the wedgie goes some way to explaining why we don't normally televise judo.
And that bloody smear is the reason you don't see a lot of streakers in Formula One.
Some people on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now. The Chinese secret police have shot them.
Well, he's finally got his head down. His hands are firmly round the shaft. Which is why I'm handing over to John Infidel.
Overpaid knocks it on to overrated. Overrated on to possible rapist knocks it forward, clods it gay, goal!
Things a sports commentator would never say.
Like a lot of people watching this Olympics, I'm wondering why black people don't just take over the earth.
There's the bell, and the schoolgirls I've been spying on go back to their classroom.
I can't be the only person to wonder what it would be like to shag this gymnast.
So here we are, from Wembley.
So, with 3 furlongs to go in this Grand National, let's leave the leaders and go and watch the fallers being shot.
And they're off! They're off! They're off! And I should probably keep my voice down because this is snooker.
Oh, forehand, backhand, forehand. Don't you just love it when they grunt?
Just reading through the names of this Chinese team is making me feel hungry.
And for those of you who missed them, here are next week's Italian football results.
This woman isn't just a world-class curler, she's also a model.
What a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
It's time for the scrum, where the players can have a quick kiss and exchange phone numbers.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb.
And that is a massive tackle. I wish mine was like that.
Not everyone's been able to get tickets for this World Cup final, and we know a lot of you are watching at home. So hello to you, the England team.
Oh, and it's bad news for New Zealand. Rugby doesn't matter.
Keep an eye on this ball as it hits the ground, because it's such an unusual shape, it could go anywhere.
Seal it bang, seal it bang, kia ora, kia ora.
All pretence has been abandoned as both teams take to the field naked, covered in lubricant to the sound of pounding techno.
Thick, muscular necks, broken noses and powerful thighs. The rugby wives are minging.
This young man has a brilliant playing career ahead of him, followed by a bleak career as an after-dinner speaker before his suicide at 40.
Well, he is in many ways the perfect fly half. Legs of a human, torso of a blue bottle.
The South Africans there, passing to their one black player, Johnny Token.
So it's England versus Samoa, a team of rank amateurs against Samoa.
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And there's just yet another Grand Slam victory for Andy Murray.
And now we come to the javelin. If you're watching in 3D, you might want to look away now.
And here we are with the women's football, but while you're enjoying the game, please spare a thought for all the men at home who are going without dinner this evening.
Well, he's stroked that through the covers. Surely it would have been easier just to pull back the duvet.
And here at the British Grand Prix, we've already had a couple of fatalities. Yes, 2 of the crowd have died of boredom.
Lewis Hamilton is 3 seconds ahead, but there's trouble at turn 17 as Dastardly and Muttley have dug a pit.
I'm here at the Green Court Bowls, and I've started cutting myself.
He
right hook in, he's got the left hook in, and he's finally finished putting up those curtains.
Well, welcome back after the break. You haven't missed much, just the entire Indian innings.
Now let's go back to Henley, where Claire Balding is standing with two cocks.
There's Rio Ferdinand. What a tackle! But enough from me. I really should let these lads continue getting changed.
Alex Ferguson has substituted Wayne Rooney. Of course, not the first time Rooney has been pulled off by a 69-year-old.
Well, what a result. The UK Somalian has beat America's Kenyan to show that the Africans aren't going to have it all their own way.
Thanks for all those fantastic statistics there, Motti. Now go and get a fucking life.
Things you wouldn't hear at the Olympics.
The athletes will now go forward to receive their medals and complimentary prawn crackers.
And there is the Chinese coxless 4. It's a harsh punishment, but that's what happens if you lose a heat.
And look, there's Paula Radcliffe in a clown outfit holding a sparkler.
We can't find a national anthem to Togo. We're going to have to use the Benny Hill theme tune.
And that is a personal best. The first time I've managed to crack one off to the weightlifting.
Oh, my God, things are really exciting here at the sailing.
And there goes the bell. Someone has stolen the bell.
Now, over to the Paralympics with Glenn Hoddle.
She's past 1, she's past 2. Paula Radcliffe is very ill indeed.
He medalled in Sydney, he medalled in Athens, and he's going to medal here unless someone catches him.
And coming up, your chance to watch teenagers in leotards without feeling bad.
To show you just how polluted this city is, the javelin has got stuck in the sky.
The leading British swimmer has had to pull out of the 400 metres freestyle because he couldn't find £1 for the locker.
Well, we should have done better in the shooting, and this young team from South Manchester know it.
And anyone who thinks that this opening ceremony is amazing has never been to Blackpool on ecstasy.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
That gymnast is so supple. If my wife could do that, we'd still be together.
Next, the rhythmic gymnastics. You might want to start beating out your own rhythm at home.
That English track team is awesome!
And it's gold for Ireland!
Well, that'll be low marks for synchronicity, but high marks for execution. Clean shot to the head, backwards off the board, pool full of blood, magnificent.
Next, over to Gabby Logan, who's going to tell us whether or not she's a transvestite.
And it...
Go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland!
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right?
You've just been
Oh, let's let's look at the clock. It's more interesting than the show jumping.
The one thing we're all thinking during the Olympics, doesn't Claire Balding look like Eddie Izzard?
Nobody can touch this Russian gymnast except their coach and their uncle.
And here comes...
Hugh Dennis.
Well, what a morning. We've got medals in the Yingling, Tiddly and Po.
Chinese athlete with number 36 in his chest. That means he's a chicken chow mein.
And here...
And the French have 4 faults: their language, their food, their underarm hair, and the fact that they are French.
A surprise in the canoeing, where the British athlete has gone missing.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
Unlikely things to hear at the World Cup. I'll tell you what, that Nelson Mandela's a bit of a dick.
And on comes the sub for North Korea, and it's torpedoed the opposition.
Pesky scores!
And there they are, Scotland through to the final 16.
And we're a bit pushed for time this week, so both sides have been told to just play the highlights.
Fabio Capello holds the trophy aloft. Proud winner of the Best Postman Pat look-alike at this year's World Cup.
Well, it's very hard to tell with his legs at that angle, but no, that is definitely a Brazilian.
Yes, on the one hand, we lose the tournament, but on the plus side, he stole me out tonight.
That's right, Emmanuel Adebayor. I understand exactly what you just said.
Then the English fans are taunting the American fans by holding up an oil-covered pelican.
Oh, goody, James Corden's show's on next.
England, of course, are being sponsored by Tesco Online, which is why John Terry has just been substituted by 3 ripe avocados.
And here we are on safari. There is a giraffe and an ostrich. I'm terribly sorry, it's Peter Crouch's parents.
England are playing fantastically. This is a splendid DVD of 1966.
And what a shame Ireland couldn't be here. But then Thierry Henry is a filthy, cheating, lying bitch.
You want carpets? Crazy Diego got carpet!
Unlikely things to hear from a sports commentator.
So just 80 metres to go and the building of this running track will be finished.
And Ricky Hatton there, bleeding heavily from the nose. This boy really knows how to party.
And we're just getting the news that Usain Bolt's ankle isn't actually sprained, it's broken. So the only thing to do is to collect some of his sperm and then shoot him in the head.
Hello and welcome to Sky Sports, or if you're watching Sky Sports 3D,
Hello and welcome!
Ah, the smack of leather on willow as Sue Barker walks into a tree.
Meow! 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 The race hasn't started yet. I've just got a bit of a problem.
All of the drivers have their own little good luck rituals. This one's brought a tiny good luck troll. Oh, no, that's Bernie Ecclestone.
Well, we'll have to see what the referee gets out. I don't think any of us were expecting that.
Unfortunately, the Man United team have turned up with the wrong kit, so today they're going to have to play in their pants.
He's got his wood out and he's in a nasty bit of rough. He needs to get to the golf course as quickly as he can.
Well, I have to say, I do agree with the crowd. The referee is a wanker.
Welcome to Delhi for the shit pit. Sorry, the shot put. No, I was right first time.
You join me for the men's discus final.
Women's? That's not a woman.
And as the Derby winner is led out by his jockey, the sexual tension is almost unbearable.
So with 1 over to go, this next delivery could change everything. And it has. It's a no ball. I've won £400,000 and I'm off to the airport.
Oh, and that's a beautiful shot there on the black. I really should remember these boxers' names.
Unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out.
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Fuck off, Tim!
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a set bladder.
Of course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Can you tell us what's occurred? I can't get out the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnight. I think the All England Club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
They think it's all over, but Wayne Rooney is telling his hair surgeons that they've missed a bit.
So just 2 laps to go, and then these dancers from Stringfellows will be heading home for the night.
Tragedy strikes the Winter Olympics as the ski jumping is accidentally held next to a clay pigeon chute.
And that's a 200-yard drive. Colin Montgomery there, too lazy to walk to get the paper. Well, with 200 metres to go, he is on the shoulder of the Ethiopian. I don't know if it's legal for him to be there, but it's going to slow him down a bit.
Lewis Hamilton still leads, but there's trouble up ahead as Dick Dastardly and Muttley are digging a hole under turn 17.
She can see the line now. She can see the line. She's definitely pregnant.
Welcome back to the women's shot put. Here's the Lithuanian. My, what a pretty little thing. Well, let's go over to Epsom for the 2:30. There are 16 runners. Everyone else is riding a horse. What a race this is going to be.
And after Andy Murray's recent appearance on television's Mock the Week, onto centre court we see the lolloping frame of Dara O'Brien.
And that's an incredible right hook there from Abu Hamza.
So, Boris Johnson, are you enjoying the Olympics? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Claire Balding, are you enjoying the Olympics?
And there was some confusion earlier on centre court when Andy Murray thought he'd signed one of those giant novelty tennis balls, and it turned out to be a fat kid's face with jaundice.
And the England team sticking with the classic 4-4-2 formation. This really is the most organised orgy I've ever seen.
And Serena Williams remains unseeded for a second year. I can't help thinking that a bit of lippy and a push-up bra...
Unlikely things to hear at Euro 2012.
And there we see in the stands John Terry's wife, and with his arm around her, Rio Ferdinand.
Well, this French team has 3 strikers. Luckily, the other 8 have agreed to play.
Tonight's game is in the incredible city of Kiev. The outskirts are sort of crispy crumbly.
And Holland are 2 down. Yes, I've finished the crossword.
And the Greeks have reached the quarter-final. If only they'd had a massive bet on that.
Oh, that's a bad one. You can see the bone sticking right out. These Ukrainian meat pies really are awful.
And now over to Mark Lawrenson, who has something really interesting to say.
Well, I've never seen that on a pitch before. It seems the referee really is a wanker.
No, mate. This is row 6. Euro 2012.
Here in Ukraine, we launch campaign. Kick football out of racism.
And that is some incredible dribbling there from the Irish supporters. Sorry.
And things are about to turn ugly as we go back to the studio to Adrian Childs.
And it's Germany against Greece, the ultimate dilemma for the British royal family.
And that is quite simply some wonderful defending there from John Terry's legal team.
Well, the Russians and Ukrainians are going to settle this with a shootout. No penalties, just a shootout.
So, Germany are camped in the Polish half. Not for the first time.
And Rooney's trying to get round the keeper, but his keeper's not letting him out of his cage.
Unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Due to mock the week overrunning, footage from centre court has now been cancelled.
It's out again. Bigger shorts, that's what he needs.
Well, that is an incredibly strong backhand, but he did tell the ball boy he wanted the water ice cold.
Welcome to centre court. They've just closed the roof. It's a lot lower than we thought.
There appears to be a lot of grunting in this women's match. And if the man at the back doesn't stop it, we're going to have to ask him to leave.
So that rain delay, slightly longer than we were hoping. It's now mid-August.
So Venus and Serena, the old rivals, meet again, and it's the eternal question, which one would you do?
So, 1540, the last time someone British won here.
And it's the Russian favourite, Novokinchins, against the British number 3, absolutely Novokinchins.
Well, he's very lucky to get to love 40. I've only loved 5, and I had to pay 3 of them.
Of course, they start training tennis umpires at a very young age, and there they are, sitting in their high chairs, shouting, "Juice, juice."
And players being interrupted as 2 players have walked onto the court saying they've got it booked from 4 and it's now 5 past.
And if we have a look at his follow-through, we can see he shouldn't have worn white shorts.
The doubles have proved great entertainment today. I've had 10 of them, and let me tell you, Sue Barker is looking absolutely gorgeous.
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And Hamilton takes the checkered flag. Give back the checkered flag!
And you join us tonight for the boxing. I really hope a fight doesn't kick off like last time. Guys, can't we just talk about...
Welcome to Under-16s badminton, where the players are still laughing at the word shuttlecock.
Oh, and the club has connected beautifully there. But according to World Boxing Federation rules, that's an instant disqualification.
And Switzerland takes the gold and hangs on to it even after the Second World War is after.
He turns, he shoots, and that is a horrible end to the Grand National.
Say what you like about dressage, I couldn't give a shit.
And Slippery Bastard is in first with all arms and legs, second Belly Flop Boy coming on the inside, and yes, I have forgotten the swimmers' names and have resorted to funny nicknames.
And you join me here in Helsinki for the final of the curling, and you know what that means. My career is going shit.
And the referee checks his watch and realises it was given by the Brazilian FA. He's going to have to return it.
Oh, so will it be Oxford? Will it be Cambridge? Who will provide most of the new cabinet?
And there's a streaker on the pitch. 2 words, hubba, hubba.
And as they take the last bend, that is the end of the bend stealing championships.
And it's the relay, and he's made a grab for the baton. Oh, that's not the baton. But he's got a smile on his face anyway.
And Rosberg makes a mistake. He runs wide into turn 2. Why is he running? Get in the car, you twat!
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And that's a wonderful sleight of hand from the Welsh fly half. He's picked up the loose ball, he's tucked it back in his shorts, and nobody seems to have noticed.
I can see Nico Rosberg's helmet.
Apologies, after 15 years in this job, I've just been told it's not pronounced croquette.
And after that victory, they'll be dancing on the street of Samoa tonight.
100 metres in 4 hours, 26 minutes, and that is metre reading at its very best.
Now, Garry Kasparov, he's going to move his pawn. And he's done it just in time. His wife's home, but he's got it under the bed.
Welcome to beach volleyball. The players are currently getting changed into their kits while their mums hold a towel up in front of them.
And Shane Warne will be laughing on the other side of his face after that surgery.
I'd like to apologise. What you're watching is, in fact, judo, and not, as I said earlier, timed pyjama cuddling.
Well, this should be relatively easy for Rory McIlroy. Oh, how has he done that? All he had to do was say, get to Santander 1, 2, 3
Kasparov toying with his bishop. And oh no, his wife's home, she's caught him!
Ah, that pot was remarkable. But now I've got a major case of the munchies.
We'd just like to refute the idea that the BBC has lost coverage rights of all good sports. We now cross to a girl playing noughts and crosses against a clown.
What a thrilling cricket match.
Left hand, big right hand again, big left hand. Why has no one put these gloves in pairs?
What the fuck is a furlong?
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And the starting pistol's gone off, and Oscar Pistorius has got his arms in the air, claiming his innocence already.
Well, good news here in Flushing Meadow. Murray has broken Djokovic. Both legs, one arm. He won't recover from that.
Oh, clearly that's a dive by Tom Daley.
So it's 1-1 at half-time, and, sorry, I'm finding it hard to concentrate here. Gareth Southgate has just had me in absolute stitches. And that's an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction for the Ukrainian women shot putter there as a bollock pops out.
Well, do you know, I've completely forgotten when England won the World Cup.
130 kilograms. This would be a world record, but this small Peruvian is determined to swallow it and get it through customs.
And as he approaches the corner at 200 miles an hour, They really need to check out this cyclist for drugs.
And as a mark of respect, the Great Britain water polo team will be wearing armbands.
Croquet does not get better than this.
Well, my watch has 3 additional minutes. Don't buy a Rolex from a street market.
Hello, I'm Michael Owen. Welcome to the millions of you watching on BT Sport.
And he's got 4 off 1 ball. There's a lot of children that Lance Armstrong has fathered.
And the sumo wrestler grunts as his opponent enters the ring. Pretty sure that move's illegal.
Well, it's 1:30 and the covers are still on. Kevin Peterson simply won't get out of fucking bed.
And Tiger Woods is going for his 3rd hole of the afternoon. Surely by now he should have left the hotel.
And welcome to the 2020 Tokyo Olympic sailing competition. Oh my God, Godzilla! Ah!